There we go. Excellent.
Good,
How
man.
are you doing?
Good. Uh,
Good.
yeah, I appreciate you jumping in on this. This is
No, I think it's a great idea.
it's been I've been having fun conversations with people, having conversations with people around like what they're thinking kind of personally and then professionally and what they're doing
Sure.
has been really helpful. So like maybe we can just kind of go right in, like just like tell me like how are you handling all this? Like how are you personally handling it? Like how's home life, family, and then would love to hear about professional side.
Yeah, so it blends, especially over the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah.
So my wife and I both work at EY. She worked for home, I'd say 95% of the time. So she had her set up, and I was working from home 2 or 3 days a week, traveling a couple days, maybe going to the office one or two, just kind of varied.
Yeah.
So the first week when we were home, it was fine, and then it was that second week was the first week that the kids got sent home, and then that's when the chaos ensued. With my current role, the first week or two, it was kind of I wouldn't say we hit the pause button, but we slowed up a little bit just to kind of figure out, best way to proceed in this new normal, so to speak. So I was able to kind of handle the kids a little bit more,
Sure.
and then, but my wife, with her, she was in the internal comms role at the national level for EY.
Oh,
So, she was basically in a war room
I was
situation
gonna
from
say
day one.
she's twice as busy.
Yeah. So that worked good for the first week or two, but then as I started to get ramped up, obviously she didn't hit that decline. But then that's about the same time that the kids' school started kind of getting ramped up with the working from home stuff. So the last 2 weeks have been a little bit more challenging, but we've just kind of navigated a couple different schedule options that have worked. I'm an early riser, so I get up early, try to get some stuff done, and then I'll cover the kids in the morning. And we've got the 6-year-old, so she's in kindergarten, and then we have an 8-month-old.
Oh
So
wow.
yeah, we get a lot of work done around the 8-month-old's sleep schedule, and then that's when the kindergartners, will put her on FaceTime with a friend or something to keep her distracted
Yeah, I
for like
love
an hour.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Like we've been like my daughter's 10, and so we've been starting like she's done charades on FaceTime.
Oh, neat.
Right. And so like she painted paintings with her friends. And so like they started like sending each other pictures. And of course, she doesn't have a phone, so like she uses my phone. So I get
Yep.
like the most amazing texts of just like these cutest girls being like, "Hey, like look what I made," and it's like it's all beautiful things, and
Yep.
it's really enjoyable to kind of see the so like I guess you guys are kind of hacking time at home in order to kind of create the space. Is that
Yep.
what I'm hearing?
Yep. So, because as in the corporate world, you've got 90% of your day is calls, and then you got to find the other, part of your day to actually do work, right? So we try to balance the work stuff, where we divide and conquer. One person's concentrating on actually producing, and the other one's watching the kids. And she takes a lot of that morning time, and then afternoon I'm doing more producing. And then if we've got calls coming in, we just kind of have that conversation early in the morning. Hey, what's your most important calls, or which ones do you really need complete silence for, and just work it day by day.
I love that. Yeah, I think, and I love how you're kind of managing through there because I think some people struggle with that, right? Like how do we balance this? And then when there's homeschooling too, right?
Hmm.
Like literally, my daughter has a separate like she was punted to the bedroom, my bedroom, right? So she's working there, right? Because we try to always practice, right? Like don't work in the bedroom, right? Like
Yep.
so,
Yep.
like so she's in my bedroom. So,
Doing the work.
yeah, so like she does her homeschool there, and like she's got a schedule, and like it's an hour of school, and then it's an hour of walking outside or playing, and then come back in. And what are you have you added that for yourself, right? Like checkout times, like because we used to have a commute where we might relax our mind or we might think
Yep.
about the day or we might like call family. Have you added any of those kind of elements into your days now?
Yeah, so our 8-month-old takes a nap from 5 to 6, and so what we do is we both make sure we shut down our computers at 5, and so we have we'll sit on the floor with our kindergartner, watch some TV, or we'll give her something to kind of keep her busy. Maybe have a glass of wine. But that 5 to 6 is kind of like our time just to decompress.
Wow.
And then from 6 to 7 is dinner, bath, feeding the 8-month-old,
Sure.
everything. He goes down, and then 7 o'clock on, it's who's got work left to do, who can watch the kindergartner until it's her bedtime, and then if we're able to be productive throughout the day, and we have some more time at the end of the day to spend watching TV or just spending time together, that's great.
I love it.
But we really try to make that 5 to 6, just no work, and yeah, family only. So
That's huge. That's huge. So you had said on the business side, like obviously you guys had hit, but you hit pause and then you kind of ramped up. Like one thing I'm hoping to do with, as we share ideas here is like where are you seeing where people should focus their time, or where like are they finding success, right? Because I think you even posted in December that like in moments like this you have to be on both defense and offense, and then you use slightly different words, but it was about like around strategic growth forum and like how companies can like need to take these moments and be empathetic, but then also do other things. I'm curious from you with your lens, what are you seeing or recommending that people focus on?
From a professional side, from a business side, or
Yeah, professional,
yeah,
your view.
I think that it's really just about getting adapted to this new normal. From my perspective, and obviously I'm speaking just to you and me, not from EY's
Yeah,
perspective,
of
right?
course. Well, yeah, one
But
individual.
yep, coming out of 2008, the financial crisis, right? Companies learned how to operate very lean. And, once the economy started to pick back up, obviously there was some growth there, but companies still kind of kept some mean practices. What I envision, just me, again, me personally, is I think that from a travel perspective, from a remote working perspective, I think, we've kind of been thrown in the fire here. And I think a lot of companies coming out of that are going to be more receptive to folks kind of being more in control of their schedule or more in control of their environment going forward. I think a lot of client meetings where you're flying from Atlanta to New York for an hour and a half meeting and then flying back later that day. I think a lot of that's going to kind of fall by the wayside. Um, I think it's going to be more these Zoom calls like we're doing, big conference calls, more secure. That's something that I think the infrastructure will need to adapt to. But I really see that coming out of this, it's just going to be a different environment.
I love that. And yeah, I think it's interesting, right? Like where will productivity be, right? Like when, like I'm interested in the case studies after this, right? Like if you were making products and you were a software developer, was your productivity higher?
Mhm.
If you are a marketer or a creative, or like you're working with business and relationships, were you up or were you down, right? And then like obviously there's the factor around stress and attention, and some people like you could see people took like 2-3 weeks to actually be like, okay, this might be around for another 2-3 weeks, so we
Yep.
can't hold our breath, right?
Yep.
And so it's interesting to kind of hear that. And so then like from your perspective, like I focus a great deal on community, right? Like, in my days and my nights, like I'm working with, well, I'm supporting small people, small businesses, like, people that are coming out of college, like we're doing like small projects. Like I hear about people like decorating the streets and trying to like, I would say try to create joy, like joy and creative moments where people can kind of have that release and that connection without actually having with still being isolated. And then
Yeah.
I see it on the business side where I see people like really like acting and spinning up. Like what are you proud of, or like what is one of your favorite things? Maybe is it like the FaceTime calls with old lost friends? Is it something that you're doing, with EY? I'm just like, I'd love to hear how anything you're doing in community that others might be like inspired, be like, oh, I can do that too.
Yeah, so two things come to mind. First off, the FaceTime calls. So we've actually set up like a weekly, almost happy hour, so to speak, on Fridays with my family using Microsoft Teams. So that failed the first time, so we had to flip it to FaceTime. But we're trying to get everyone together. So we've always talked, we text, but through this chaos that we've had to endure the last couple of weeks and the social distancing, we've kind of started using technology just to better connect as a family. So we've got folks in Florida, North Carolina, and then here in Atlanta that we'll get on calls together, and it's not like we're seeing those folks any less because of this, that wasn't impacted, but we're just using this as an opportunity to kind of strengthen the relationship there among our family. And then from a professional side, it's been a great excuse almost to use that term, to reach out to folks that you've wanted to touch base with for a while, but you haven't because you've been so busy in your daily routine. So like it makes sense, and people are very receptive to getting that virtual coffee invite. To whereas if I had done that like 2 months ago, I don't think people would have been like, what is Scott thinking? But
Yeah,
now I do it, and everyone's like, oh, this is great. Let's touch base next month or something like that. So um,
I
I
love
I
that.
think those two aspects have been very positive coming out of the situation.
Yeah, and that connection, right? Like, I mean, I couldn't find like a minute last month on my calendar, right?
Yep.
And it's not for lack of trying, right? Like, and like, you know, like we're carving, like my 30 minutes meetings became 20-minute meetings so that I had an extra 10 minutes to do something else.
Yep.
And now it's been a joy because I've been able to have conversations and then connect with people and understand kind of these different mindsets. And I always feel like after these moments that I always like see things differently, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right. Like yesterday we had a call and like we literally were talking about like, well, we want to be helping people that are in need, right? Like maybe they can't go to the grocery store, maybe they're just afraid to go or whatever it is. And when you think about it, it's like, oh, well, I don't know who I should reach out to. And then like you have all these buts, right? But when you
Yep.
think about it and you say, wait a minute, I bet you know one person and I may know one person that we could probably help. And if we all asked one person, there might be three that actually want help. And then somebody in our group might actually have the facility to do it. Like they might not want anything other than somebody just, can you bring me like my Easter flowers that I always
Yep.
used to get, just so I have a little feel of normalcy? Or can you, I'm afraid to go to the grocery store, can you go? Or like little things. And like, I think sometimes I feel like we're coming over the arc of concern of
Yep.
like, oh, I can't help people because I need to make sure I'm safe, and realizing that people don't always want money. People don't always want your time. Like they might just 4-minute call, right?
Yeah.
And it's just interesting to see, I think, us kind of rolling that way.
Yeah, our neighbor, one of our neighbors, we live in a townhouse community with about 65 units, and one of our neighbors sent out some black and white pictures of Easter eggs for everyone to color and put them up in our windows. So I think it was Monday
Oh,
or
love
Tuesday
that.
night. I colored one, my wife colored one, and then my kindergartner colored one, and then we used my son's 8-month-old's hand to try to color one. So we'll hang all those up, and then everyone can go out and do an Easter egg hunt on Sunday with still maintaining that social distancing.
That's
But just
tremendous.
yeah, just something fun to do. So
That's so
um,
great.
so that's a great sense of community. An example of great sense of community there coming out
Oh,
of
I
this.
love that. I'm gonna write that one down because I've been struggling with that one.
Yeah. And hearing some of the stuff I've heard from folks that have kids with birthdays that have had to deal
Yeah.
with
Next
this.
week we'll have
Yeah.
one.
Okay. So I've heard one of my colleagues, their daughter turned 10, and they sent emails out to everyone in the neighborhood, and everyone put up signs they like twice or something, for the girl, just so she could feel loved,
Yeah,
so to
just
speak.
signs
So
out
yeah,
there, and
yeah.
it,
So it was pretty neat.
and it's like it. I think it psychologically, I think it helps the person that's creating the sign, right? Because they feel like they get that emotional connection that they, and
Yep.
it's not a heavy lift, right? It's like grab a piece of paper and have fun with it, and then put it up.
Yep.
That's a fantastic idea. That's really
Yeah.
appreciate you sharing that.
So
Like
cool.
it's this little thing. So I know we're kind of almost we're out of time, but do you have anything like that you think that like either like small businesses should like have one takeaway from your opinion, like not the firm,
Sure.
that would help them like for the next 4 weeks? Because
Yeah.
like,
If you don't mind repeating that, it was kind of breaking up, and I apologize.
do you have any advice for small businesses for the next 4 weeks of what they should act on that would help them? One man's opinion, right?
Yeah,
Not the
yeah,
firm.
yeah. Just my opinion,
Cool.
and I ran small businesses for about 4 years. So my opinion would be take care of your people and take care of your customers, because I think coming out of this, like personally, I've already seen some companies that are not taking care of their people, not taking care of their customers, and I will not be doing business with them, coming out of this. So as hard as it may be in the short term, I think the companies and the entrepreneurs and the business owners that make the sacrifice now, karma will come back and support them in the long term.
Yeah, and I love that perspective, right? Because you're actually taking it, not from a grow the market, not from this. You're like literally like you have to like if you do the right things and you act with empathy and like what you have to adjust because you don't know what tomorrow is, but like every day you're doing your best. You as the customer are actually going to make a financial decision in the future because of that. Not just,
Absolutely.
and that's just that's huge, sir.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Of
Thank you
course, Jimmy. I
so much.
appreciate it. Yeah.
Um, with your permission, I'd like to share some of this
Yep.
online.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's going to say this is Scott's opinion and all that jazz, but you shared so many like I think heartfelt things on how people can connect and be human, and then the small business thing I think is going to I think will wake some people up because I know personally like I'm talking to people and I'm just like what do you mean you haven't heard from that company in 3 weeks? Like, I'm
Yeah.
talking to some people and they're literally like, I've heard more from you and your team than I've heard from my family asking if I need anything or help for the last 3 weeks.
Wow.
And like, it's hard, right? Like, we're all working as hard
Yeah.
as possible, but it's like, I feel like I'm almost anxious right now because I'm worried that I'm not touching somebody that needs a connection.
Yep.
And it's just like, that's what's driving me right now. I'm like, that's why I wanted to record this honestly with you. And I'm reaching out to others. So if you can think of anybody who like have an interesting point of view, like, I just think the more we can share and have this, I just think it's
Totally agree.
I think it's gonna
Yeah,
matter.
and I think you're gonna come out with a great project coming out of this. But if I think of anyone, I'll definitely
Give me a
make
note.
the introduction.
I appreciate you. Hey,
Yeah,
have an
of
awesome
course.
day. Enjoy the
You
day
too.
with the family.
All right, take care, Jimmy. See you.
Bye.